Hey all you gaming enthusiasts out there. I bet you're drooling at the thought of running Crysis on very high, aren't you? Well, today I'm going to give you that chance. My name is Chris Cordero and I'm going to show you how to install SLI Dual video card setup with two 8800 GTs. Before we start with the installation and the gaming, there are a few pieces of hardware that is required for SLI to run. Obviously, you will first need two of the same NVIDIA brand video card model that supports SLI. You cannot mix video card models with SLI. SLI also supports PCI Express card slot types. That means no more AGP slots. Today we'll be using two BFG 8800 GTs. Next, you will need a motherboard that supports SLI. You can usually tell if a motherboard supports SLI by looking at the model number of the motherboard. It usually has SLI somewhere in it. You can also tell by looking for the SLI badge on the motherboard box. You will also need a power supply capable of handling all the power it takes to run dual video cards. Most SLI setups require at least a 500 watt power supply that is SLI ready. Look for the SLI badge on the power supply box to tell if it is SLI ready. Lastly, you will need what is called an SLI bridge. This piece is self-explanatory. It simply bridges the two video cards together so that they will essentially work as one. Since the placement of the card slots on motherboards can be different depending on the layout of the motherboard, the SLI bridge is usually included with your SLI ready motherboard. Before you actually go on to installing the cards, you must first make sure you uninstall your previous video card. This can be achieved by going into the Start menu and clicking on the Control panel. Then go into the Device Manager by double-clicking on the Device Manager icon and navigate to your display adapters. Then right-click on your video card and go to Uninstall. You will then be prompted to restart your system. Before you go to put the cards in the slot, make sure you have two 6-pin PCI Express power connectors free and ready to be plugged in. When you have those power connectors ready, go ahead and plug the first one into the 8800 GT before you install the card into the PCI Express slot. You'll know that when the card is in place when you hear the snapping sound of the card lock going on. The second card will be seated just like the first one was. First plug in the power connector, then seat the card. The last step is installing the SLI bridge. Which side you install the SLI bridge on is important. If you look on the underside of the SLI bridge, you can see a small arrow on the bottom. The arrow on the bottom of the bridge then coincides with the small arrow on the top of the card. You then just line these up and slide the SLI bridge on top of the two cards, thus linking them together. We are almost there. Once you have the cards installed and secured into your case, turn on your computer and make sure that it posts. Once it posts and you are in Windows, pop in the disk that came with your video cards and install the drivers. You will then be prompted to restart your computer. I will be skipping this step because the drivers were already installed on this system. Once the driver is installed, right-click on your desktop and click on NVIDIA Control Panel. Under 3D Settings, you will see Set SLI Configuration. Click on the radio button, Enable SLI Technology, then click Apply and you are set. With SLI, you can now play nearly any game you have to its fullest potential. Have fun and happy gaming.